I'm Alanah, and welcome to episode 288 of Unlocked. Today we're going to be talking about Mass Effect Andromeda and giving our first impressions. We're going to be talking about the new Xbox One controller as part of the tech series, an update to the Xbox Insider program, Dead Rising 4 DLC, Evil Within 2 rumors, and some of the awesome stuff that's happened in 2017 in games so far. I am joined by Destin.
Hey, everybody.
Marty Sleever.
Hello.
And Miranda Sanchez.
Hello.
Now, you two are the perfect people to start off talking about Mass Effect Andromeda as some of the biggest fans in the office.
Yeah.
What do you guys think?
I played so much. Please read our wiki.
How much?
I don't remember how many hours, but it's many hours. I spent a lot of nights up till like 3 a.m. working because there's a lot to do.
That's terrifying.
Yeah.
I do not envy what you're going through right now.
Yeah.
But you're liking it.
Yes, I'm enjoying it very much. As I've said a few times before, it is not to the same caliber of the original trilogy.
Yeah.
That being said, I'm still enjoying it a ton. I think it's a lot of fun. I love the combat. I like my writer a lot. I like my new squad. I like PB a lot and Vetra.
I actually don't like PB.
I like her so
Yeah, no,
much.
PB's one of my least favorite
I
characters.
feel you have to either really love her or hate her.
I just think she's
like spam. like the meat.
just the can.
She's like the email.
Like spam bots. No, I think she's just like very aggressive in her personality in a way
Yeah.
that she feels forcefully written, which overall is my biggest complaint about Andromeda, is that I feel like it's really expositional. I feel like the writing is very in your face and things are repeated a lot, which gets rid of the like appealing subtlety of the world building the original trilogy had.
Yeah.
I think there's a few characters that are written better than others. I think Vetra is pretty well balanced.
Is she the girl who talks to you about religion?
No, Vetra is the
that?
Turian.
Oh,
Yeah,
That's
Turian.
Subi.
because I like her.
I don't like Subi at all.
Drac, though, very much in your face. Very sort of like he plays up a lot of the tropes from the
He's
Krogans.
the grandpa.
I'm just kind of like, really?
Grandpa
No, I
Krogan?
really love him. He's just a grandpa. He calls you kid.
Krogans basically are like old grumpy
Crotchety old
man.
men.
Yeah,
Yeah.
personified, like all of them.
Yeah.
But
Just
you were
like a
saying with the female Krogan that's in this,
Oh, I was so taken aback the
Yeah.
first time we talked to a Krogan. I'm like, oh, what's happening here?
there's a female voice. And you're like, I didn't expect
Really?
that at all.
Yeah, and I guess I was like, oh yeah, I guess they probably have to procreate somehow, so that sort of makes sense.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
I guess you haven't met the female Krogan yet, huh?
No.
I
And
only
that's-
played one. So.
Yeah, I mean, so my thing was, coming right off the heels of finishing Mass Effect 1, I am really enjoying my time with it, because I think I'm not going in with sort of the stigma, I don't even want to say stigma, but the baggage of 2 and 3, which everyone says are incredible games with these amazing stories. And so I'm not comparing it to that. I'm comparing it to Mass Effect 1, and mechanically on every single level, this game is superior.
No question.
And obviously graphically, this game is superior. And so
Questionable.
I so far really haven't had any problem. I feel like this game is Assassin's Creed Unity, where it's sort of like your mileage may vary in terms of
absolutely.
glitches and bugs, because
Yeah.
I reviewed Unity and had none of them.
Yeah.
And so far I'm like 5 or 6 hours into Andromeda and I've had no bugs and I've been totally fine with facial animation. I've just sort of come to terms with the fact that any game where you are allowed to create your character, you're not going to get the caliber of facial animations that you get in something like Gears or
Absolutely.
a Naughty Dog game.
Basically, they have to stretch features across the face, and then they have to emote in the exact same way.
Yeah.
For all of these different kinds of features,
Yeah.
which is really unnatural, and I get it. But Destin, I saw you made something hideous in the character creation.
Oh, yeah. I made a few really dumb looking characters.
Did it while we were at BioWare too? It's just,
yeah,
Destin, what are you doing? You're embarrassing us.
It's really fun to make dumb looking characters and then see what they look like when they start speaking and everything in the game. On the animation front, though, I do have to say that for me, it's difficult when you're experiencing a really emotional cutscene or something that's supposed to be impactful, and like my character just looks off. There's something like not right about their facial features.
how you-
It's that
emoting.
they don't move enough.
Not the weird looking
No,
one, but yeah.
I feel like they just don't move enough to convey emotion. The faces when they're supposed to be tense just look kind of blank, and I do think it pulls me out of the experience. But at the same time, I love Bethesda games, as in Fallout, Skyrim. I don't think they've ever had amazing facial animations, but it's never pulled me out of the experience. So it's totally bearable.
I mean, I think the problem is the closer we get to the uncanny valley, the more noticeable those nuanced flaws are going to be.
Yeah.
I remember them saying with Forza Motorsport specifically, that they had to intentionally put scuff marks and flaws on cars that they would put in that game so that they wouldn't look too perfect.
Yeah.
And then people would realize that they're not
Yeah,
realistic.
and that came in a really good facial animation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really, really good faces
Yeah.
on those cars. Yeah.
Everyone's been piling on about facial animations. I feel like it's kind of beating a dead horse. But one thing I do want to commend them for is, like you said, the combat's really, really good.
Yeah.
Like when you start building your powers together and doing biotic combos or tech combos, there's just huge explosions. The sound design is absolutely phenomenal.
So
I
good.
love the music. I love the sound effects with every explosion and every interaction. Even a lot of the voice acting's really good. Some of it
So,
I feel is hammy, but
So I think all the core characters you interact with are fantastic. Like you won't hear somebody who sounds off, except for like people in the background that are yelling somewhere on the Nexus that you don't ever talk to.
Go.
Yeah. Yeah. So like at least to your point, like sure, some of the animations don't really convey the same emotion. I think you at least get through for the voice acting.
Yeah, and I really like how you're not sort of you're not locked in place at the beginning of the game. You're not locked out of certain powers just because of like what class you picked. I like the fact that we've compared to the Souls games too, where very quickly you can sort of dabble in anything you want, and you can really create the character you want, which is cool for abilities because chaining them together feels really good too.
Yeah,
like a lot of the abilities speak to each other in really interesting ways, which does make the combat like really satisfying and really good.
So the stuff that I spoke about in my preview a couple of months ago, where I spoke about that and I spoke about the crafting. As you played more hours, like how do you like both of those things? How do you feel like they evolved? Like I had just the smallest amount of insight to the crafting.
So I've done a little bit of crafting, mostly because for my game of how I'm playing for work is like I just have to go straight through for the walkthrough and with some side stuff and some tip things. But for crafting, I've been kind of just finding armor. So you get research points that you can then allocate to buy certain blueprints, and you can look through all the blueprints in like the final stage, like level 5 of them, and I
which
like
unlocks
that.
at level 30.
Yes, and I like
if you're
that.
building them yourself.
Yeah, you can see that, so you can kind of say, hey, I know I'm going to be super tech heavy, so I want to find an armor that is good for tech, and then you can do that, and then just kind of plan your way for crafting the entire way through. So that's kind of how I've been doing it, and I really like how that works.
Yeah.
And there's certain perks you can get, so you can constantly get research points, which is what you use to make blueprints, and then you can also, of course, have like set deliveries of like materials based on like another perk system. There are so many systems.
So there's like a farming system.
So yeah,
automated?
so Andromeda viability points are points you get for
Unlock the crowd pods, right?
yes. So as you establish,
Is this a different language?
Oh, the AVPs to get the crowd pods?
Yeah.
So as you establish outposts and kind of build up these colonies, you get points to wake up more people. And when you wake up more people, you get perks.
Okay.
And so it's like, hey,
Like
we wake
the
up
free
more
Milky Way
scientists.
points.
Yeah, so it's like, hey, we woke up scientists so that way they can do research for us. So you
I
get
like
that
that.
research for unlocking blueprints. Or I could say, I want combat specialists that will go and get me specific organic materials. Or I want some people who are good at finance and they're going to pay me.
Oh, and so
So-
it's like a meta game, like a passive meta
Yes.
game that occurs in. Yeah, it's like Assassin's Creed did a good job of that back in the day with like Brotherhood and Revelations.
Yes, I
think.
compare it
Yeah.
to that often. There's
Yeah.
actually strike missions you can do also that are very similar to Brotherhood,
Oh, that's
where
cool.
you can
What,
just
they
say,
pigeon coops?
sort of, yeah. It was sort of like that. Isn't that where you did the missions? Like you go to the pigeon coop
Yeah,
and then
you'd
you would
get
say,
that. Yeah,
Make someone else
go,
do it.
go attack people.
Same way as like
That's how it
AC4.
works.
You like send
Yeah.
your ships off to battle. I
Yeah.
did so
It's
much.
really, really fun.
Yeah, I like it. It's just a little thing you check in. It's like, how's my team doing? And then you send them back out and they learned a new skill. I'm like, oh, good job, team.
Yeah.
And then send back out to do more work.
How are the missions that are on different planets? Like, are they just... The way it was sold to me at that preview event was that there would be actual side quests on different planets. Some you would just scan for resources. Like, is there a lot of variety there?
Yeah, so there's
It's overwhelming.
many levels of side quests that was really hard for us to figure out for wikis too, because we're like, all right, how are we going to split this up? So you have your priority ops, which are your main missions, and then you have relationship missions. So that's just people you get from your crew, and then you have location-specific missions that are like gonna benefit the world and growing your outpost and getting like viability for that world, so you can have more people live there. And then of course, like some of it's just like helping the natives there, or
Yeah, I
like
feel
you said, like scanning stuff, or
in the opening hours, I've come across a lot of sort of busy work side
so
quests.
much. Those are usually the tasks, which are the throwaway, like, hey, this person wants to interview you.
The fact that they're
Come
even
back
called
sometime.
tasks, like no one wants to do a task ever.
Yeah,
not
it's
in,
not a
not
great
in
way
real
to
life,
sell
not
it.
in games.
Yeah.
It's like
They're
calling it a
optional
chore.
tasks.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like those are like the lowest priority, and I think there are fewer of them, and a lot of them are ones that are on hold. So it's like, hey, go interview with this person. Right now it's on
back
hold
later.
till she's ready for later, and she'll send you an email. So it's like obviously totally optional.
Yeah.
But it's like also in the lists of quests you have, they are at the very bottom. So obviously the priority is not there.
There's a few of those side quests where you're just kind of like, oh, okay, I'm going to go find what is this? Like
Yeah.
you end up in like a really surprising scenario where you have to make a major decision for the game. And that caught me off guard 2 or 3 times already. And I'm only on Volt. So I still have 2 planets to get to.
Also, one of those tasks is a relationship option. So
Nice.
Have you ever wanted
that
to
out
date a
there.
task
Yeah.
before? So
For the people who has a task for you.
You said relationship ops. Obviously, one of the big things in this game is the good bangin, as BioWare put it. How's
I've
the good
seen
bangin?
2 sex scenes so far. Yeah, they're
How
pretty
are
good. They're pretty good. I mean, for video
A
games,
graphic.
yes.
Oh, wow.
It's like, how do you feel about
It's
boobs?
kind of porn.
Nice.
Positive.
Oh.
Yeah.
Graphic and boring? How does that work?
No.
Wait, boring?
They're porn. They're like porn.
Oh, I thought you
Yeah,
said
it's
boring.
like softcore porn,
Right.
a little bit. Like,
Cool.
they are full on nudity, but the good thing is that they always ask you beforehand. They're like, "Hey, do you want to do this?" Like a lot of the scenes give you an opt out. Like if it's not the kind of relationship you want, if you just rather be casual,
Cool.
or if you rather be super intimate. And
Are they
some
awkward?
characters, some characters flirting with each other are awkward, but I think it's supposed to be written that way because like Sarah Ryder
Meant to be
seems to be
charming.
more awkward than Scott.
Interesting.
Yeah, when I'm flirting with people with Sarah, it's not.
She's
yeah.
really
Like, what are you doing, dude?
humbly, and I
Yeah.
kind of like it because Scott's not that way at all. Like,
Yeah.
he's very straightforward. And a little
How
more
is
charming.
the like density of building those relationships? Like in a lot of games, you build a relationship by saying something nice a couple of times, and there's not
So-
really a lot of depth to that.
Yeah, you have that same kind of thing going, but then a lot of times you'll have to do a quest or something. Like, I mean, no, you have to keep doing.
No,
their
I just
personal
laughing at
quests
like if
for
you're thinking
them.
of like real relationships. How do I get a girlfriend? Just do a
Do
quest.
quests for us.
Yeah,
Sorta. Get her something nice.
yeah, yes, not too far. So you have that, and then usually they'll have like an extra scene before you can actually go with like a full romance with them, depending on the kind of relationship they want. Like there's this one character who she just wants like casual stuff. And so you just catch her being kind of drunk at one point, and like you're just kind of nice to her. And then after that, she talks about like how she's super stressed, and then you end up like either being able to be in a casual relationship with her, or like kind of say, "Hey, I want something serious." Then you kind of wait.
So what happens if you cheat on someone?
I don't know. I haven't done that yet.
Interesting.
It's really far in the game. So
Yeah. I don't know if it locks you in. I've been romancing Liam. I'm playing as a lady shepherd or lady
Congrats.
rider.
Wow.
Proud- Oops,
trying
proud
that
of
out.
you.
I like her.
Congrats,
I like
Lady
her.
Rider.
The charming aspect. Like she starts out awkward. She gains more confidence as she goes through. I really, really
Yeah.
like her arc as a character so far.
I
And,
like that they are like their personalities are a little different. 'Cause
Yeah.
they're different people. Like
Yeah.
that's one big
Yeah.
thing. It's like Sarah and Scott are not the same. Like,
Yeah,
surprise,
not meant
twins
to
are
be.
not the same people.
Anyway,
Sorry.
I only had to say that a billion times in my life.
Miranda is a twin. For those who didn't know.
yeah. Her relationship with Liam's really, really interesting, and there's a few touching moments where you learn more about his character. Where I'm just kind of like, oh, that's like really sweet, you know. And I don't know, it's kind of cool.
Yeah, it kind of stinks that like the character stuff takes a while to get to, and that is definitely a part of the strength of Mass Effect in all the games,
Yeah.
at least for me. And it does take some digging to get there.
So one of
Yeah.
the things that I liked most about the original games is, the change I liked the most from the original games is the way that your personality changes through dialogue choices, because it's not Paragon and Renegade anymore.
Yeah.
How do you feel about how that is progressing? Like, do you like I think it's logic and
Yeah,
emotion now or something?
It's always red, right? It's red with a circle every time. I
Just
haven't
little emblems?
encountered any other thing on the side besides a red pull the trigger.
Wait.
Oh, right. So there are those action items, like if you want to do something that's like really harsh or especially affectionate, those still exist. So like sometimes like there's like an option to either attack someone or kill somebody, or instead like push someone off of you, or hug them, or do something
Killer kiss.
kind. Yeah, like you can do
Kill or
like
hug.
those are like high emotion things. So those still pop up, which I like.
Yeah.
But those are always right trigger, right?
Yes.
Yes.
But there's not like a right or left. I do kind of miss some of the duality of that Paragon and Renegade, because it does feel like your character is more scripted. Even though you change what they say and how they say it and how they're presented, it doesn't entirely feel like it changes what your character or how they act or how they're perceived. But I mean, this is only my first playthrough, so I don't really know how much that changes.
There's been a few just regular decisions without the reticle or whatever that I've just had to sit there and really think about it. Like, am I going to do this or that in this
Yeah,
scenario?
there are some-
and I like that it made me actually pause and consider.
Yeah, there's also in your codex, I think you can kind of track what decisions you're keeping, like every little thing, like how often you talk to people or like how much you know about them, which I like. So if you didn't
Yeah, those
talk
are
to them
called
at all, it's like,
personality stats.
yeah, you can do that too. So like just for Ryder, they have personality stats. But if you look into like your crew,
Oh, with other
crew
people.
stats, like you can just see like, oh, this person wants their time alone, and you do that.
That's cool.
There's
And then
si-
other people, it's like you talk to them on your free time and do all this other stuff. So it keeps track of those kinds of things in weird ways.
That's cool.
Inversely, there's other decisions where I'm like, yeah.
Do it.
Yeah, exactly. Right now.
Well, I was going to ask you, as the show's resident Mass Effect fan, what's your favorite thing and least favorite thing about it?
Least favorite thing is definitely I feel let down about the animation quality. I really wish they had more time. I feel like it had to get out for the quarter, and I don't know if there were pressures there or whatever, but I wish it would have had a little bit more time in the oven.
Yeah.
Oven there, because I feel like they could have addressed these concerns from the community. My favorite thing is definitely the world exploration and the combat stuff. Well, they kind of go hand in hand. I go to Vold and I do every single side quest, and I know that planet now. Like I know, okay, yeah, that's the place where the base is, where I took down the shield and took out that guy and got the really cool loot. And I love driving around and finding new stuff and finding like those secret side quests I brought up before, where I just sit there and have to really think about the decision I'm about to make.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, and like you said, it is kind of beating a dead horse, but just to touch on the facial animations one more time, there's been some like kind of confusing information regarding the lead facial animator of the game. There was this girl who's known for being a cosplayer who had in her Twitter and Facebook bio saying that she was the lead facial animator, and basically someone wrote a blog post that effectively single-handedly blamed her for it, even though we know that that's a lot of people who work. Yeah, it's a lot of people who work on that, but then BioWare said, they released something that basically said, don't abuse anyone, but also this is false. So it seems like she may have lied or miscommunicated. We don't really know. Point being, one, it's always a team of people who work on things. Blaming one person doesn't help. And two, just you're allowed to criticize someone for lying, but don't be a dick. Like,
just don't harass people.
People have been super mean to her, and they're like, "We're just criticizing her for saying something untrue." And it's like, you used several swears.
Criticizing her for being a woman first and foremost.
Well, I saw the word whore quite a bit, and it's just, it's unnecessary.
Yeah.
So stop doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Though I feel like probably no one who listens to the show is so. Anyway, there's a new Xbox One controller as part of the Tech series. You've seen this, Destin.
Yeah, I saw it on Twitter.
Yeah. So it's $70 out April 25th. It has like rubberized grips on it.
I like the look of it. And it looks like a cheaper, like a heftier, more grippy version of the base controller.
Yeah.
And I kind of like that. It has a lot of the look and aesthetic stuff that I like about the Pro for $70.
Well, it's basically got some like gold emblem-y stuff on the front. No idea what any of that means or what it's a reference to.
I feel like I read that they were trying to go for like a military look, but it's not like a gaudy military look. Like
it's subtle orange accents.
Yeah,
kind of looks like it belongs in Destiny to me. Like the way that
Destin likes it.
I agree.
But that's like
space age.
it does. The designs look really space age, but it doesn't have the expanded functionality of the Elite. So it's not actually adding anything more, which is why it's only $70. It just looks cooler and has the rubberized grips. So
I think it's kind of confusing. I find it weird that there's now multiple SKUs of controllers.
Well, we have the Elite, we have the regular controller, we have also all of the
custom ones.
The custom ones. So it's
and
there are
you can make your own controller.
Well, those are the custom ones.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. I was thinking of the custom ones from like PAX, the ones that we saw at PAX.
Yeah, those are still just different faceplates, though, right?
Yeah.
So it's technically the same thing. I mean, I have
only 3. It's not that bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have no complaints about having multiple options for controllers. I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like calling it the Tech series and really only having rubber added and not anything else is confusing to me.
Rubber is one of the core technologies.
Everyone's favorite modern tech, rubber.
Yeah.
But it was on MajorNelson.com, and he introduced it by talking about the Scorpio. So the idea could be that maybe it will be bundled with the Scorpio. I don't really know why that would happen.
Really? I don't know.
Yeah, well, his blog post literally is like, we've got the Scorpio coming out later this year, and this is coming out later this year. But right now we have this controller. So he introduces this controller by talking about Scorpio.
That's really weird. I feel like that's when you get a writing test in like middle school. And you're like, what doesn't belong?
Yeah, right. You're like, well,
like,
where's this leap of logic here?
Yeah, it's like which sentence of A, B, C, or D is not supposed to be here?
Yeah, it's a little strange.
And in regards to Scorpion controllers, I've seen a lot of people saying that they think or hope that the Elite controller is going to be bundled with Scorpio.
Oh man, that'd be so cool.
I think the opposite.
Yeah, I don't think
so. Ryan wrote on the doc that is 100% not happening. I don't know if that's opinion or if he knows that somehow.
I'm sure it's opinion. Yeah. But I think it'd be great if there was a SKU without a controller, because I don't need an extra controller. And so if I could get it for cheaper because of a lack of controller, that'd be great.
I don't think there's that many people who have that situation though.
I think a majority of Scorpio owners are going to be Xbox One owners.
I feel like you're probably right.
I don't know. Like the way Phil was talking about it when he was here a couple weeks ago, it was like the hardest of the hardcore.
Yeah.
I skipped the
I'd want another controller though. I already have one, but I could always use another.
Yeah.
So I would actually, I don't know. That seems like a weird.
If our controllers now work with PC, it might work with the Scorpio.
Oh no, it'll absolutely be the same controller.
Yeah.
I mean, I say absolutely not knowing, but yes, it'll absolutely be the same controller.
Yeah. The Tech series is going to work with Windows 10, Samsung Gear VR. So I'm positive that it'll work with the Scorpio as well as everything else would. But I mean, that's an interesting point. Like, I already have 2 Xbox One controllers.
And you could just go to Destin's desk and steal one.
Exactly.
I only have one. They're all gone. Yeah.
That's why I hide mine in my desk.
Yep. It's a real thing. We have to hide our stuff.
Yeah. I don't need another controller, but at the same time, like, in theory, couldn't you just trade it in?
Well, in theory, just don't give it to me. I don't know. Yeah, I don't want to have to trade it.
It's never happened before, so we're just.
Yeah, I know this is different.
I'm really curious to know how people would not want a controller with their console.
One.
Wait.
That
You
seems-
want a console with no controller?
Yeah, because I
That's
have
what I said, yeah.
several Xbox One controllers.
They're going to bundle it with at least one controller.
Yeah, but if I could get one for $20 cheaper without a controller, that'd be great.
Or in theory, 60. Like,
Yeah,
you know, I have.
controllers don't cost $60 though. They probably cost like $15.
The manufacturer, you mean?
That's true.
Yeah.
I have the day one edition of the Xbox One, meaning it says day one on the front. So I don't use that controller because I don't want to, because it has that on the front of it and I don't want to lose that. So I just have never used that controller.
They should have the
Doesn't
day
work very
Scorpio
well.
launches. They should have a controller that's like the day 1200 controller.
It would be cool if they had a day one Scorpio controller.
Yeah.
That would like kind of justify
They came
that.
with a
but
day one Scorpion.
Cute.
A Scorpio, like 0 for day 0, basically.
leave. Just get out.
Oh, yeah, I'm not feeling that one.
Alana's a cruel host.
But I mean, I really like that we have variety. Like, I don't think that there's a problem with having too many controllers, basically. And, you know, this is launched as the tech series, which to me makes it sound like there will be multiple of these. And we did a video at PAX East of the different designs of custom controllers.
Yeah.
Those are just different faceplates. They're not actually different functionalities.
And they're like of a lot of upcoming games like Crackdown and Sea of Thieves and State of Decay. There's an IGN one. Yeah,
There's a bunch of different ones, and you know, I'm going to get one of the custom ones one of these days.
one of these days.
Make a cool watermelon color one.
Why?
I just really like the combination of pink and green.
Do you like watermelons?
Big fan.
Great. Pink and green. Look at that.
Exactly.
Watermelon.
Intentional.
That was not
All
intentional.
right. Completely intentional. Next up,
The hair color wasn't even intentional.
Absolutely intentional.
That was a mistake.
that is libel. I don't know what you're talking
Looks
about.
great.
For everyone who's listening to the audio version, my hair is pink. Next up, Xbox Insider Program has had a bunch of upgrades. I think this is really cool. So those who don't know, the Xbox Insider Program basically encourages Xbox gamers to give feedback on content that's still in development. So it's something you can find on your dashboard and opt into, and then you have the option to pick which programs you would like to be a part of. So the ones that they are adding are arena tournaments. We heard about tournaments, I think, at E3 last year.
Yeah, that was a while ago.
Yeah, and it hasn't really been built since then, but it basically lets you... People can host a tournament. They are focusing on wargaming right now. So you can host a tournament and then you can find other people's tournaments straight from your dashboard, which is basically just encouraging more competitive play. And I've spoken about this before, but I played Gears of War 1 competitively and we had to use terrible third-party websites that sometimes people would lie about their scores at the end of matches. Like, it was a mess. It was not as easy as it sounds. So this just totally formalizes all of that and I think is really exciting for esports stuff.
Oh, for sure. Like, I think esports or getting into esports on console just seems like an impossible thing.
Yeah.
At least with Dota and stuff. Like, there's so many ways with like Dota Buff and like other really great online assets for MOBAs and stuff to figure that out and to kind of like get your MMR and see where you rank against everybody else. Dota stuff.
What the hell?
Dota.
What the hell's an MMR?
Anyway.
You want to talk about Dota?
Is that like a?
It's like
you have
my
to get
job
like
to mention
a
it.
yearly checkup to get my MMR?
So having this kind of contextualizes where you are, and I think probably, and also just being able to join in tournaments is fun.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, hey, I just want to join a tournament for myself someday. So
Yeah.
you just train up and then go do it.
It's a really cool way for new people to get into esports as well. Like, you know, a lot of people who are really good at games would never even consider that they could play professionally. And then this kind of thing comes around and you're like, wait, I'm actually very good at this. Like, you're not just playing ranked.
Yeah.
It's an actual tournament.
The LFG stuff, I feel like Destiny is the reason that exists because they just had no functionality for that. So the community went out and started building those.
Interesting.
Right.
Yeah,
On
yeah.
Reddit,
And
I know. I used Reddit
Yeah.
to do raids.
Yeah.
OG Destiny. So LFG, for those who don't know, I think is looking for game. It basically lets you effectively act as a host, saying that you want to play a certain thing, and then people who also want to play that thing can find you and you can group together. But it also lets people see like the stats that they have for specific games. So if you're trying to do it
in this
for-
aspect. So like,
Yes.
like the reason I say Destiny was sort of a catalyst is because like that was the first game where it really needed it and didn't have it.
Yeah.
And I'm sure a lot of people were like, hey, this is a service that we could add pretty easily for all games, not just Destiny.
Yeah.
And I'm happy to see it's implemented.
Yeah, because you can do that kind of with your friends. Like you can put a beacon or whatever on and
Yeah.
say, hey, I want to play this game.
Yeah.
But having it open to the community
Casting
is
away.
way better.
Yeah.
Beacons never worked for me either.
No,
Like, because I
I
would be
turned 'em
trying to get achievements for an old game and put a beacon up there and no one ever responded to it. Whereas this basically opens it up to everyone. And cool thing about LFG is that it lets you see like the K to D ratios of anyone who's playing with you. So you can like pick
1.0.
people to join. Nice. Nailed it. And like totally tailor a team based on skill. Sucks for people who have bad ratios, but
But then they can band together and get better together.
exactly.
Yeah.
You can have like
The bad news bears of Destiny.
a dunce hat LFG group. It'll be great.
This is really cool too because this is just the first in a litany of updates that's coming to just the core Xbox One UI as a whole.
Yeah.
That are going to be launching over the next couple months, which is really exciting because I got to see some of these at GDC. And like first and foremost, they're getting rid of sort of the preview window on the dashboard, where it's like when you pop to the dashboard, you sort of have your game still running in a window, and they're getting rid of that because A, doesn't really need to be there, and B, that is a huge memory suck. And so the reason the Xbox One's dashboard partly is sort of slow and not a one-to-one response is because of that. And playing around with the new dash, it is instant. Everything is instant.
Did they move the games tab? Because that's the worst.
Yes, it is like my biggest problem with this is that I've had my Xbox One since launch, and I am not familiar with it. Like I can't navigate it with my eyes closed. Seeing what the new one looks like, it is so much sleeker and sort of closer to that 360 perfection,
Yeah.
which is super exciting. And then the other thing which you have here is for achievement hunters. It is you can in any game. You can choose up to 5 achievements that you're going after, and then you can put this little box in the corner of the screen, wherever corner you want, and choose the opacity, and it's pretty much a progress meter for that specific achievement. So if it's like kill 100 bears in Far Cry, you can have that up there, and every time you kill one, you'll see like, oh, I only need 75 bears left.
So what I do now if I'm going for an achievement is jump to the achievements tab, look at like the progress. In some games it doesn't even seem to map right. So ideally this lets you have it on your screen at all times so you know exactly how well you're doing.
Yeah.
And I love that.
Yeah, I think it's really cool for people who just want to, especially for these big open world games who just want to like mess around for a couple hours. This is gonna be cool for Crackdown.
Yeah, really good for collectibles as well. Like know how close you are to actually having everything.
Yeah, especially for games that don't have a tracker on how many collectibles you've gotten. And if that
For the Wikis team.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Yeah. So
How does it feel to be replaced by a tracker?
Well, you still need to know where they are. So.
Yeah.
Suck at tracker.
the Achievement Hunters thing also has a tab in LFG. So basically, if you are going for a certain achievement, you can let people online know, and everyone can jump in and help you with that achievement, especially working for multiplayer games, which I think is really cool. It seems like something that should have existed for a really long
You
time.
guys remember like when you're playing multiplayer and there's those two sitting in the corner trying to do something weird?
Yeah.
I love
What are
that.
you guys doing over there?
It's like, oh, we're trying to get this achievement. Oh, okay,
With
that's
Left
fine.
4
You can
Dead
kill me.
2,
Oh, you're
I
trying to
had
get void kills in Destiny? I know what you guys are up to. Yeah.
Left 4 Dead 2, a bunch of my friends and I would try and get achievements for each other, meaning that we had to be on separate teams like humans and zombies. And it's one is like ride one of the jockeys into acid or something like that. Or have them push you into acid. I don't remember, but it would be a bunch of really specific things that meant that we split up into groups and would each like try and help each other get these dumb achievements. It's like it completely breaks the game, but I think it was fun.
It's almost fun that way too, just because it's like a really weird, obscure time of like getting cooperation from other people to help you accomplish this goal.
Yeah. So the cool thing about this is that now you can effectively do that with everyone and communicate just by pressing a button on this tab to say what you're going for rather than needing chat or anything like that, which, I mean, I think this is awesome. Another upgrade is custom profile pictures.
Yep.
You can upload from your phone, console, or Windows 10 PC. And it said, the quote is, expect it to be in preview longer than other features to ensure it's great for everyone when released. Pretty sure this is because of dicks.
Yeah, this has been
I
a
thought
problem.
this was their quote.
This has been a problem for custom pictures since literally in Perfect Dark for Nintendo 64. They were going to have a feature to where you could take a picture with the Game Boy camera and upload it as your face. And Rare, I think, was pretty much like, yeah, it's just all dicks. Like, we can't do this. Like, everyone's just going to be running around with a penis head.
People
Oh yeah,
having sex on
the
Uno.
best kind of porn was Uno porn back on the 360. Yeah,
So bad. So, I mean,
Uno.
I think that Facebook has like a dick filter that they have like mapped out what a dick pic should look like so that they can find it and take it down, like automatically
There's ways
flag
around
it. I wonder if that's legitimately what this is. They're like,
Maybe.
we had to put this in preview so we could test it to figure out how exactly we can track what a penis looks like without needing
I really like the
to.
idea
What
that,
like, what if it's just like a phallic thing, but it's not?
yeah,
They'll probably still think it's a dick.
I really like the
Just
idea
like
that
it.
there's this like like janitor at MIT, like Will Hunting, and he's just found the algorithm for how to get cocks out of this. Like he's like a genius. He could be curing cancer, putting us on Mars, but he's just trying to get dicks out of your gamer page.
Someone's got to do it.
Some teacher takes him under his wing.
Yeah,
he's like showing him pictures of wieners.
Under his wing. That's what that's what he's under.
But like, there's no question that when they pitch this, and it seems like a no-brainer. Like we have our own custom profile photos for everything now. Basically, this is one of the few social networks, being Xbox Live, that we can't do that. Obviously, they're going to be like, well, what do we do about all the nudes? Like, we got to do something about that.
Yeah.
And there's more things than just dick pics.
Yeah,
you know.
guys.
It's true.
Come on, equal opportunity. It's 2017.
Boob pics? Yeah. I've been
Oh,
sent
you got
so
like
many
naked
of those.
aliens and Mass Effect.
That's fine, though. If someone has a profile picture that's a naked alien, like, I'd be like, that's cool.
But
Like,
it's just like really like anatomically correct. Just like severely correct.
That's weird.
Yeah, that's still fine. I don't know why that's fine, but I don't have a problem with
Or
it.
Total Recall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It could be, but I mean, yeah, that's going to be really hard for them to
Wait,
do.
do this show, going back to Mass Effect, this show penises in Mass Effect?
I don't know. Probably
Everything
not.
else.
Probably not.
Okay.
What did Turian
I was going straight to Krogan.
So
they don't show
you
genitals.
you only romance a female Turian.
Hmm.
So
What about Asaris?
sorry, they just show breasts. I think.
But in the codex, it explains how that works.
Well, Asaris are adaptable sexually,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, they can-
So they like change.
yeah,
What do you
they
think?
have anyone's babies.
What do you guys think an Elcor dunk looks like? Yeah.
They don't wear
Polygon,
pants,
I think it was Polygon wrote an article ranking all of the most bangable aliens, and they didn't put Asaris as number one.
But
Ours
they
were number 4.
That's insane to me.
Yeah.
Wow,
They should
you really
absolutely
pulled that
be
one out of
number
your
one.
pocket very quickly.
Vorcha was number 25, and I laughed.
yeah, where there was also what are the dumb dogs called? I just forgot. I had it on.
Baron.
How dare you
Baron,
call
yeah, I was like-
dogs dumb?
They were number
the dumb,
20.
the dumb ones.
I know.
The Baron. Yeah,
It was like weird
Why are the
codes.
Barons so high? This is bestiality.
We had a pretty intense conversation about that yesterday about whether having sex with aliens is bestiality.
I
don't
think we.
know.
Yeah, we did the same thing at Beyond.
Yeah, we did.
Still don't know.
It's very.
We're sorry, Ryan.
Also, what do you think Elcor sex is like?
Why do you keep bringing that up? Should I be concerned that you?
No, I want to know what two
pretty-
Elcor, like their pillow
Oh, you
talk
mean
would be
when
pretty
they're-
I'm pretty sure
interesting.
it's pretty
Each other?
slow.
Yeah, pretty slow, but it's also like very like having a good
Intense
time.
pleasure. This
Yeah,
is good.
ejaculation.
Yeah. Yeah, it'd be kind of poetic.
Yeah,
Like, and it ends with just love, like admiration.
Lovingly.
Yeah. Nice.
Regret.
Back to Xbox Live. So on top of giving us custom profile pictures, nailed that segue. Almost everything seems like they're trying to expand this into more of a social platform than it currently is. So right now, you can already you post things, like as you do things, you can post screenshots, clips. People comment on my stuff a lot, even though I don't interact with it whatsoever. And I'll just like get a comment on an achievement and be like,
On your Xbox.
Yeah. And be
Yeah,
like,
I
I
post-
didn't do anything to do with this. I don't really
I
know what you're
take
doing.
pictures and little videos all the time, and then I realize people comment on them. I'm like, oh, people actually see this.
Yeah, can
Right.
you do like status updates almost too now?
Yeah.
Because like I know I have the app and I use it for my controller sometimes because I'm lazy, and that's what it's for.
I like the
And
app.
I go to my notifications like, oh, I have things to say.
Yeah,
Weird.
but they've never really played into that, and that like all of us are like, huh,
yeah,
that's
they
a
have
thing.
the clubs now,
Yeah,
so you can
They're
do
kinda neat.
those. And
they're
yeah, there's a
also
lot
letting
of
you
neat
hide things from
features.
your profile now and pin things to your profile, which I think is really cool. So it's like,
I have to hide stuff a lot when I get review copies, and I have early
have
access.
I'm
literally-
gonna do that. I just break
I just
embargo.
play off.
I'm playing ukulele for review on Xbox One, and someone messaged me last night and said, "You're not playing ukulele." And I was like, "I am." Like, what? Like I need to.
I definitely.
Now I want to break embargo just to prove to you. I just want to start streaming this.
Speaking of which, there's also a join broadcast button so that you can put it on your profile so you can access your streams
Yeah,
from
this
the Xbox Hub.
Yeah, and it's
nice.
heavily integrated with Beam, which is Microsoft's first-party streaming service.
Yeah,
I've never heard of that.
It's new.
I didn't
It's
hear of it
very
until that
new.
appointment a month ago. Yeah,
yeah.
Beam. Yeah.
And one of the last things is you can now filter games by platform in your game library. So you can choose between Xbox One and 360. And I was kind of wondering if that will end up being Scorpio compatible, will be a part of that. If that will be a filter.
I mean, we
Or
don't
Scorpio
know.
optimized.
We don't
What
know
is-
how Scorpio games are going to be optimized. Like if it's going to be taking Sony's approach, where certain games get the PS4 Pro patch, and like we don't know what Microsoft's going to do with games from the back catalog. Like is Rise going to get a Scorpio patch?
Ours is pretty
Yeah.
fun.
Oh, that game's gorgeous though too. That's
Repetitive, but fun.
it's such a good game to show people.
Yeah.
Like it's still
Real
so
pretty and gory. And
Yeah.
How was the Kinect support?
I love it. It's like I champion that. I've probably spoken about that on the show before, but I love Connect in that game because you just yell like "Fire the catapults!" And
Oh
they do.
yeah.
Oh, it was so great. All right, pick Connect.
I use mine.
I still have mine unplugged.
I yell at it all the
That
time.
doesn't. I still have mine unplugged.
I had to leave mine at home because the only way that my parents know how to use my Xbox is with Connect. So they only know how to
Xbox,
turn
Skype
it.
Alana.
They have done that
Oh,
once.
sorry, everybody.
Damn it!
Stop
Skyping me.
Your
Everything's
phone
open
starts blowing
Skype.
up.
But I think it's like, especially for Rise, and there was like one other game that I used it for. I overused it, and then for everything else, just never.
Yeah.
Like not even once.
I don't think I've ever used it for a game. It's not like Just Dance.
And it
So
does work
it's-
really well for Just Dance.
Yeah.
I think Just Dance is best on the Xbox.
Oh, I guess I used to use it for like the fitness app when that was around.
Shape Up? Oh no, that's the Ubisoft one.
No, just like the
there
Xbox.
was, like,
Xbox
Yeah.
Fitness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that.
Dead Rising 4 is getting a new DLC. It's called Frank Rising, and it basically turns Frank into a zombie who is looking for a cure, but he still has to eat, but not food. So it seems like
I get it.
yeah, he has to eat humans.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh no.
And you're like trying
it out.
to
Classic Frank.
Solve the mystery.
as quickly as you can find a permanent cure. Whereas I think in the most recent games it was Zombrex for people who were turning was the name of it, but it was never permanent. You'd have to use it like every 6 days. So the idea is he's already basically a zombie, and when you eat humans, they were kind of vague about this, but you get new strengths and abilities. So
That's like real
So
life.
why would you want a cure?
Yeah,
I
don't
think
know.
that
Keep
it's
getting
a
stronger.
turning point. He doesn't want to go full zombie, and there's also still
Oh.
people he cares about, so he wants
Okay.
to save them.
I think everyone should just start working on a Stubbs a Zombie sequel.
That would be cool.
That'd be
It's
cool.
wonderful.
But
You
also,
could eat
I love
people,
Dead
and You
Rising.
could bowl.
Dead Rising rules. Like
Oh, it's
Stubbs.
cool.
I didn't
The guy
play.
who made that helped make Halo.
Yeah,
You made Stubbs a zombie?
Yeah.
yeah. John Halo.
Oh.
John Halo?
Yeah, the creator of Halo, titular hero, John Halo.
John 117 Halo?
Yeah,
My
exactly.
boyfriend?
Yeah, your boyfriend John Halo.
There's also the Super Ultra Dead Rising Mini Golf, which includes specialized golf clubs and balls, plus power-ups and online multiplayer options. That is
That sounds worth it.
pretty much exactly what it sounds like, and it actually looks super fun.
I totally slept on this game last year. It came out so late in the year. Like I
Came out during crazy time.
I mean,
Yeah.
it came out in December, so like I think I was reviewing The Last Guardian at the time, and then
I did.
Oh, yeah,
over
Last
winter
Guardian.
break I played like Dishonored and Final Fantasy, and just now I'm just like buried under all these games. And
Yeah. I also feel bad because I never finished 3.
yeah, you
So it's
should.
like, yeah, I feel bad for.
No, you should feel bad. You should.
But at least this one is Frank again, who I absolutely love. So good, fantastic. So each of these packs is $10 unless you bought the season pass. Then you already have it for free. Evil Within 2 may be on the way, as per a job listing from Japan. Okay, so we have to phrase this as though May. I'm like positive this game is 100% coming.
Why not?
There's like almost no question. It sold really well, was received fairly well. It would make. How did you feel about it? You didn't like
I didn't play it.
Oh,
I'm just.
you
I'm
said
just
it was
Oh
okay.
no, I thought it was great.
Well, the reviews were like 7s.
I think Lucy gave it an 8.
Yeah,
something.
I think it was fantastic. And I
Sevens
think-
isn't
yeah,
bad.
I think
No,
it
I'm
was-
That's a
that's.
very-
I said it was
good
okay.
That's a
That's
6.
That's better
Six.
than okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just saying, like it wasn't a 10.
No.
Not everything. That was hardly any tens though,
9.7.
or nines.
Yeah.
I didn't say it was bad. Yeah.
I actually didn't like it that much. Like I love horror games. I don't remember what it was that I didn't. Oh, I think it was too easy to exploit. I found that I could just run past absolutely everything.
That was my problem with Outlast as well.
They tried to assign me to this game, and I was just like, "You want me to die?" It was like right around when I first started too. I was just like,
I really don't think it's that bad.
"I am just a baby.
There are jump
I am
scares.
so bad at horror."
yeah.
Also, it has the scariest E3 booth ever because it's just a bunch of barbed wire and flesh.
So do you guys remember the vanishing of Ethan Carter?
Yeah.
yes.
There's the mines.
Oh yeah, that was a.
I
well,
nearly died.
But also, like,
I was
where did that
crying.
jump scare come from?
I know,
Like,
I
none
hate
of
it.
It's not. It's pretty much not a horror game until you get down to the mines and there's jump scare insta fails. Oh, that part
Yeah.
sucked.
I had to call somebody because I was doing that was one of my first wikis for
Yeah.
freelance, and I had to finish it. And I was like crying. I was like, "Can you please talk
Yeah.
to me while I have to play this game?"
I was playing it at home for review, and I was playing in the dark with my headphones on, and I was totally like, "This is." I was like, I'm reviewing this because it's a walking simulator, like Gone Home and all those games.
little puzzles.
And then all of a sudden, you get down there, and I'm like, "Where did this come from? Where did this
Suddenly, a
mudman
horror
in the
game.
mines come from?"
yeah, that's super weird.
Yeah.
We were talking about Evil Within.
yeah, scarier game.
It does have really dumb jump scares where just a lady appears in your face every now and then. But for the most part, I found like things are really easy to avoid. But I did go to the launch event for this in Australia. It was really cool. It was at a theme park, and they had one of those mazes that they have at theme parks that was
scares?
entirely decked out, and they actually printed
Like actors and stuff.
Yeah,
a fun
so they actually printed assets
like,
from the
put
game
your
onto
hand
the
in
walls.
the spaghetti. Oh, it's brains.
Well, you weren't meant to touch anything. It was like just a maze, not a maze, in that you can just walk straight through it and it's a pathway. But every corner, I would like walk around very slowly because I would expect someone to be in my face.
yeah.
Like, it
Would
was
you turn around the way you turn around in first-person horror games?
Yes.
The way to the wall.
Yes. I drift when I turn in horror
She makes
games.
like a Y turn.
That's
Playing Resident Evil
smart.
7, and she like hit a wall, and she's like,
Well,
smart.
it's more smooth than that. It's so that if anything
can't
does a
get you
jump
that
scare, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You see it coming. Okay.
It's
don't defend her.
dang.
That's why I don't play them. Just
So you can
Save
make fun of
yourself.
shows.
Got to do the backwards walk.
yeah.
I think when I had to review a horror game for the first time, my strategy was to sprint through everything because the idea I had was if I walk very, very quickly, nothing can jump and scare me. Everything's
does-
already moving fast.
That does detract from the scares when you do
It
that.
totally did.
Yeah.
It also made me incredibly anxious for several days, but it worked. So this is expected to come out on PS4 and Xbox One. Obviously, we have no idea, but the leak, I guess, it's a job listing that was in Japan, and according to a translation of the description, the position is for QA and translation for Psycho Break 2, Psycho Break being the Japanese title for The Evil Within.
Yeah, and QA and translation are two things that come along relatively late in a game's development cycle, which is why a lot of people think that it might be this fall. Which, given that Bethesda 2 years ago, announced Fallout 4 at E3, and all of a sudden it was out in November, whenever. Maybe we'll get that again.
I love that
We know
strategy.
Bethesda
That'd be really
has
nice. I'm glad they
their
started.
conference again this year, and so
Prey's coming out before that,
Yeah,
so
Prey will be
we're
May.
not going to be talking about that.
yeah.
Like after Bethesda did that, everyone's just like, "Oh, that is a good idea. Maybe if we give it to them almost immediately,
Yeah.
more people will be interested."
No, totally. Watch Dogs 2, Shadow of War.
Switch.
But to be
Switch.
fair, Fallout had years of hype because everyone knew it was coming.
Sure.
Like 4 years of people being like, when's Fallout 4?
Yeah.
Like people were asking that question leading up to that conference. So it's that I don't think it is necessarily proof of success.
Going to happen with Half-Life.
It's also Fallout.
Oh, boy.
They've
mean-
been building that one.
Not having to wait years for a game is always a nice thing.
Multiple years
Getting
sucks. I'm okay with waiting 1 year.
Yeah, that's okay. I don't
Seeing a
mind
game
waiting.
at multiple E3s. You're like,
You
what's
get
going on?
tired.
Yeah. Or
And
you
it-
forget.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this game.
Yeah.
Guess I'll come out sometime soon.
So it seems like Bethesda's E3 lineup is going to be Wolfenstein 2, Evil Within 2, Quake Champions.
I like how it says, seems like it's going to be Wolfenstein 2. Game not announced yet.
But that's what we're predicting, right?
Yeah, I mean, we haven't seen anything from Machine Games.
That
or
was
Tango
just
Works.
from the start of the conference last year.
Last year. Yes. During they had the little computer thing. And
Yeah, someone translated it immediately.
And
figured out what it meant.
they have to have enough. I mean, if they're having an E3 show, they have to have such a show.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like it seems like it's obviously way too early for Elder Scrolls 6, I would say.
Well, based on those, which it guesses as it is now, they still need one or two more things.
Yeah, I mean, if
Maybe the
Wolfenstein 2,
molding.
Evil Within 2, some more quick stuff.
There was a mention of a new IP.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Well, Todd Howard said that Bethesda is currently working on 7 projects. Bethesda Softworks is working on 7 projects, which is Fallout VR, Fallout DLC, 5 more. Probably,
Okay, so-
Elder
so
Scrolls 6.
Elder Scrolls.
When do you think we're going to get that?
Wolfenstein Evil Within.
No, Bethesda Softworks.
Oh, you're right.
Bethesda,
Damn it.
like the Bethesda
So
as
neither
the
of
studio.
those.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
And we know they opened up, it's probably like a Fallout Shelter 2 or like a mobile thing that's coming out of their Canadian studio.
Yep.
They've talked about a new IP, so maybe a third pillar. Like,
I wonder if we get the new IP this year.
yeah, I don't know.
It seems crazy though because while it's technically not, we spoke about this a few weeks ago, that Prey is basically a new IP and that it's like a total reboot of the series.
Sure.
The Prey name just worked. They
Yeah.
had it, so they used it. It's like that is basically a new game from the ground up.
Yeah, but it's just also like if Todd Howard's team is working on a new IP that you assume is in a similar mold as Fallout or Skyrim.
Yeah.
Like what like what's the motif even? Like,
Western
what is
Pirates.
Western Pirates.
If we're assuming that it's going to be like another open world Fallout Skyrim game,
Space.
which it likely is going to be.
Yeah. I
Did
could see-
Softworks make Fallout Shelter?
It was their Canadian studio. Yeah.
Space.
Yeah, I could see like an actual like sci-fi. not
that kinda
dystopian
That's my
future.
jam.
That kind of competes with Prey right now. So right now would
Yeah,
be
that's
content.
that's
true.
what I was thinking too. Is like
Yeah.
space is the obvious one because they're not going to do anything apocalyptic.
Underground.
They,
Just kidding.
I mean, like any modern sort of shooter or something. I don't
Yeah.
want to see it. Maybe,
Gothic
who knows?
horror.
That'd be cool.
Horror.
Bloodborne.
Yeah, let's just make Bloodborne 2. All right. Yeah.
Cool. And on that note, 2017 kind of rules for games so far. So far, Aside from platform exclusives from other people like Zelda, which we have to give a shout out to, we've had Halo Wars 2, Mass Effect, obviously, Resident Evil, and upcoming we have Yooka-Laylee, Prey, Injustice 2, Middle-earth, Shadow of War, Crackdown 3, Cuphead, Sea of Thieves, South Park, Red Dead, Assassin's Creed, which we're assuming is set in Egypt. That's the rumor right now.
Yeah. Destiny 2, Battlefront 2,
Yeah.
Call of Duty.
It's a super exciting year for games.
I really like Mass Effect, even with complaints. So
Yeah, and
totally deserves to be there.
I think it also just came off the back of 2 absolutely amazing games.
Oh,
So it's
God,
people
yeah.
keep comparing it to that, and it sucks. It's like
There's just so much open
tough
world
spot.
right now.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
hard not to just be like,
Good
well,
month
this
for
is
scanning.
this.
All 3 of those games have a lot of
they
scanning.
really do.
Good scanning.
What's
it's
the
the year of the
Scanning's
scan.
awesome,
Really?
Marty.
Yeah.
Year of the scan.
Zelda?
Zelda. Well, I take pictures of things and then it goes into my.
Technically,
Yeah,
counts
you
as
have-
scanning
yeah.
adds to your database.
I guess so.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Gotta catch
it's
them all.
people are already like I feel like I can't make a decision on that yet, but it feels like it's already one of the best years for games. Like
In a long time.
Dude,
it's
it's definitely one of the
Yes.
best
It's crazy.
first quarters. Like,
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
it's like overwhelmingly amazing.
April's
so
gonna slow down.
probably.
Right?
No, Yooka-Laylee and Persona 5.
Persona 5, yeah.
Okay.
And we kicked off the year with Gravity Rush
For
2.
me, April will
Yeah.
slow
Yeah,
down.
Gravity Rush 2, Neo.
Yeah. So people have been doing these lists that I really like, which is a favorite game for every year since I was born.
Okay.
So people are basically going through every single year they've been alive and listing their favorite games. Obviously, we don't have time for that, but I thought that I would challenge everyone here
Talking about, we
to
got like 10 minutes.
yeah, we'll be fine. To their favorite game the year they were born. Destin.
Got it. So I narrowed it down to 2. There's Dig Dug, which was awesome. That is a really fun game to play.
Dig
Pro
Dug.
tip: if you tap and pump at the same time, you can blow the little monsters up faster. You get more
weird
points
sentence.
for for digging the
Dig Dug
dirt.
in real life.
But
and pump at the
I
same
think I got to give the edge to Miss Pac-Man, which also came out in 1982.
Yeah.
It was copywritten in 1981, but released in 1982. So
Pac-Man rules.
Edged it in there.
Yeah.
That is just a fun game, man. You sit down at any bar today and you just pop in a few quarters, and
Yeah.
you can play for a while.
I liked Pac-Man when I was a kid. Now I don't.
Have you played like
Still
Championship?
playing it.
Like the new ones?
I still
Yeah,
really like
I-
it.
Yeah.
Eh.
Dude, Miss Pac-Man. Also, Miss Pac-Man is
cool.
legitimately the first game I ever remember playing with a relationship. Like they
Yeah.
fall in love in,
Yeah.
in the acts, they have a baby.
It probably is one of the first to ever do
Yeah.
that, which is such a weird thought.
Yeah.
I think, no, Championship is a lot more fun now.
Oh yeah. I mean,
I
the
get,
new
like,
ones have
really
like
frustrated
modernized it.
playing the old
Yeah.
ones.
Yeah.
Made things more competitive as well.
You should play Pac-Man 256, the iPhone game. It's by the Crossroad people. It's really good.
That's the one where it constantly goes.
yeah, where you're like going
Yeah.
always upwards. It's like
There's a free
an
demo.
endless packer.
I've seen people play that. It looks exhausting.
It is.
There's a free demo. It's fun.
That's how I just feel about Pac-Man. It's exhausting.
It kind of is.
Gotta eat all the dots.
That ghost chasing you.
They're scary.
I was born in 1993, and I think I've only played 2 games that came out that year, which is Link's Awakening and Doom. Both are awesome. If I had to choose
Awakening
between the
rules.
2, it would be Link's Awakening.
That game
Those are
rules.
great
Yeah.
games. I'm old.
I want to make a video where you take a raft out into the ocean in Breath of the Wild and you keep going until
It gets rainy.
until it gets rainy, and you go to the edge of the ocean map, and then we just cut to the beginning of Link's Awakening.
Perfect.
Oh,
I have the opening of Link's
I
Awakening.
should probably just have Darren
ingrained.
make that video. Actually,
Yeah,
All right.
do it right now.
We didn't.
We need to edit that out.
No.
Nobody else make that video, please.
Or what if he sails, he goes to the
Wind Waker.
Wind Waker, and then to
I like all this.
beginning.
I like all this.
Just a supercut of sailing in Zelda games?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, perfect.
Marty, what's yours?
I was born in 1986. The original Legend of Zelda is mine. That game is incredible. Obviously, I'm just remembering how incredible it was as I slowly play through Breath of the Wild. But I also give a shout out to 1998's Super Mario Bros. 3 because for several years I thought I was 2 years younger than I actually was.
They did.
It's a real thing.
That was a real thing.
happened. Yeah.
Yeah, but so I was never 28.
I like how you brought it up
amazing.
again, like you're proud of it.
I'm not proud of it. It's just I'm so ashamed of it that I keep bringing it up to make sure it never happens again. I'm pretty much
need a reminder.
Well,
Forget.
it's called self-negging. Yeah,
Beautiful.
yeah, it's great.
How about you, Miranda?
So I was also born in 93.
Good year. Good year.
Yeah, it was. Very good year. And I played, or the only one from 93 that I've played was Aladdin for the Sega Genesis, which is also a fantastic game anyway. So
Yeah.
Very
my
good.
favorite.
See, like
Second
people
best
doing.
Aladdin game from 1993.
No.
I really like the Super Nintendo one.
Yeah.
Shinji Mikami, shout out to Evil Within 2 coming soon. Maybe.
Possibly. So let's move on to. We don't have a name for this, but because Ryan
And
is out,
You
questions?
could call it rapid fire.
we are taking questions. Obviously, not going to be doing trivia this week because I would have to do it, and I don't want to give up a potential point because I'm a selfish jerk.
Fair.
So, first question we have is from David.
win anyway.
Shut up, Destin. From David Scatchy. What's the longest gaming marathon session you've all done? 10 hours, 24 hours, 48 hours?
I've done 24,
Jesus.
but
I think I've done 24.
Oh, yeah, I've done
so
24.
What?
So I think maybe I capped out around like 26. I went after the 24 mark. Me and my stepbrothers challenged each other to stay up the longest, so we just played Killer Instinct and like any N64 games that we had rented like all night long. It was
Yeah,
right
you
when
were
the console
playing
came out, and it was really, really fun.
Killer Instinct for that long is crazy. Like mine that I did for over 24 hours, there had to have been a break in there somewhere. It was Deadly Premonition. And
Yeah.
like I'm thinking
That
like
game's
that.
not
There's
24
no
hours.
way that game is that long.
No.
But we played it on hard and did a lot of restarting. So it's like it was probably around 15.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I mean, you also recently you beat Breath of the Wild in 4 days.
Yeah. So that was like multiple 12-hour sessions.
Yeah.
I mean, like
Oh, I would have played Neverwinter for around 24 hours for sure.
I do the streaming thing sometimes after work, and then people are like, you've been live for like 10 hours. And I'm like, oh my God, I need to go to bed.
Oh no.
Oh my God, it's tomorrow.
Oh no.
When I was playing Zelda, the point that I figured that I would need to stop playing is because I was playing handheld the whole time. My wrists would start to hurt. And I was like, you know what? Should probably put this down now.
Yep.
You'd
Like,
also
it
be
took
like
that
tweeting
long.
stuff out at 4 a.m, and I'd be like, go to bed.
It's
you have
so
to, we have
hard
to
to put
work.
that game
It's a really
down.
good game.
Like I
It
was
is.
when I first got it, I was staying up till like 3 every night because I just did not want to stop playing.
I like how I would get mad at you. I would be like coming home from a bar at like 2:30, and I'd see you tweeting about Zelda. I'm like, you gotta go to bed.
You're the one out. You know?
I guess yours is cooler because it's social, but whatever.
Not really.
Zelda.
No,
think
dude.
you're
Breath of the
better.
Wild.
You're at home.
There are a few things I'm gonna say are better than bars, and Breath of the Wild is one of them. Yeah.
How about you, Miranda?
Yeah, Fallout 3. I think
Nice. That's a good one.
played for
Ah,
a
it's a
very
good
long
game.
time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is a really
Very
good
happy.
game.
The only thing that comes to mind for me was I played through. It was the night before we flew to E3 a couple of years ago, and I played through The Last of Us in one sitting. So I remember we got
Oh, yeah,
Colin.
that's right, you said
Colin reviewed it for us. We had a review
One
build,
sitting.
and I was like, "Hey, I could have it this one night," and we fly to E3 in the morning. And so I started it at
Jeez, no.
like after work and just played it until pretty much like 2 hours before my flight.
That game is so
finished it.
heavy that seems exhausting.
It
Yeah.
took me months to finish that game.
Yeah.
Partially because I didn't have the PS3 I was playing it on or whatever it was. But
Yeah.
yeah.
It was PS3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
PS3.
Yeah, I remember playing it. I was playing it with my girlfriend at the time, and she was like super invested in the story. Fell asleep at one point, and then woke back up, and I was playing as Ellie, and she was like, "What the hell happened there? How did you become her?"
That's one of like a
Takes a twist,
small chunk of games that I have to put down when I played it because it was every combat encounter is so tense.
Yeah, that was
that I would be like, oh,
my anxiety was through the roof. That
Absolutely.
game.
Yeah.
It's like the biggest reason I didn't enjoy it was because it was so tense and because I felt so incompetent in combat. And honestly, because I'm bad at the game, but just because of like how it handled.
It's designed like that.
Yeah,
I mean,
and
you're
I
not
didn't-
supposed to be.
I did not like that.
It's not supposed to be a power
mushroom
fantasy.
face boys like that's
Cordyceps.
ugh.
I would run past combat every chance I had.
Yeah. I mean, that's a smart thing to do.
You usually can't, unfortunately.
I've spoken to Marty about that. I have done that in Halo a bunch. Like I like when games give you the option to do that, especially like one of the first games that I remember playing tirelessly is Jet Force Gemini, and that basically has a door that only opens if you clear the room of enemies. So I played a ton of Halo because I played those games over too many times, where I would just run through certain levels, and you can run through without killing anyone. I love that option.
Yeah. Well, my favorite thing about like Splinter Cell or even Left 4 Dead,
Yeah.
or not Left 4 Dead,
Definitely not Left 4 Dead.
Last of Us is like the stealth mechanics
Yeah.
and like hiding and playing through perfectly and not getting spotted. You basically can't do that in Last of Us.
Yeah.
It's very difficult too.
Yeah.
Like Splinter Cell on the hardest difficulty, so I'm obsessive about reloading saves. So eventually, I'm just like, look, I just want to finish this game. I won't if I play that way. So I'm gonna skip
Have to keep going.
the combat as much often as I can.
So like shout out
I
to
love that game.
Dishonored 2.
Yeah.
Gives you quick saves.
Yeah.
It's just a trigger, a quick save, and then you reload the quick save, and like that's such a good way to approach a stealth game. Like I try not to do that anyway because it feels like cheating.
Yeah.
I like paying for my consequences or getting consequences for when I
That's
screw
why I
up.
like From Software's.
I'm doing that with Mass
because
Effect right now.
there is no like it auto saves every action auto saves.
you
It's
don't
like,
have
well,
a
this is
choice.
it. You have one save file.
Yep.
Deal with it, dude.
Yeah.
Mass Effect autosaves every like 2 minutes. It's
Yeah.
fantastic because like I'll make a master save, then I'm like, I just want to see what happens if I go the other way.
They have lots of good saves. They also have chapter saves. So when
Yeah.
you restart a new chapter,
that's cool.
like,
Yeah.
Oh, that's
constantly
nice.
does that.
Yeah.
I have like 90 saves, and there's no limitation on how many times you can save,
the
which
best.
is great.
Yeah, Fallout 3, I had so many
Oh,
because there was achievements for like getting to a certain level as like good versus bad. So I would just like reload 2 levels before that level,
Yeah.
steal a bunch of stuff, kill a bunch of people, and then it would level me up and I would be there. So like I cheated the achievements, and there's neutral as well. Like that one
That
was
where you
hard.
just want to see what the bad option is. Like, I
Yeah.
still don't know.
What
I
happens
just
if I
want to
nuke the
blow it up.
city? Yeah.
It's just once. That's all.
R.I.P.
And then I get the
Megaton.
nice penthouse. That's all.
Yeah.
The next question is from Jeremy Bennett, who asks, with Miranda coming on, which anime series would be the next best Xbox exclusive?
Anime. I think so. Fun fact: when I saw this question, I wanted to shout out that Steins Gate visual novel was originally out on the Xbox 360 in Japan. Did not come out here, just in Japan. It's so weird, and eventually came out here on
Yeah.
PS4 and Vita. But if it were to be some exclusive, it'd have to be some sort of action game. Like I don't see a JRPG being something they pick up.
Yeah.
And I would want to see the easy option would be Full Metal Alchemist.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
I mean,
Fullmetal
it's
Alchemist.
well known.
Games, right?
Huh?
Have they ever made anything?
That I've seen, probably.
Not good ones, at least.
Think,
Like,
yeah,
not
a
notable
lot
ones.
of anime games are just kind of meh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Berserk.
Or
shout out.
don't make it here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Fullmetal Alchemist would be really cool. Like,
yeah.
maybe like your abilities work in a prototype kind of way.
Yeah. So
Just morph into things. That'd be sweet.
there's a lot of ways they could do that.
Yeah.
That or there's a superhero anime that are like called Gotchaman Crowds, and they like transform. They have cool suits and stuff. So I think that would be a good action game.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
I want From Software, Miyazaki's next game to be Evangelion.
Oh, Michael Zaki?
Michael Zaki's next game to be Evangelion.
Yeah, but do you think that would be on Xbox?
If
Probably
they give
not,
Michael Zaki
but-
enough money.
Nope.
PlayStation
Yeah,
gets
most of it's
Bloodborne,
on
Xbox gets Michael Zaki's Evangelion.
There totally have been Evangelion games.
Yeah, but not good ones.
Yeah, that's the thing with most properties.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
in TVs or
old
whatever.
or never came here or
Yeah.
they weren't good.
Apparently,
Yeah.
the Avatar game's pretty bad. Like, that sucks, but
Death Note by Telltale.
Korra, the Korra game was awful.
that would be cool, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd
Because
be real
Death
good.
Note's on Netflix right now,
Yeah.
so it's on everybody's mind.
I've
That
also,
would be
I-
cool.
I've
Yeah,
wanted,
a Telltale Death Note game.
I've wanted a Telltale
Yeah.
Cowboy Bebop game.
Ooh,
I wanted a Telltale
that'd
Cowboy
be
Bebop
so
game.
cool.
I know.
I love that show.
I kind of want to Telltale everything.
That's like, I'm thinking it's just kind of
I want
cheating.
Telltale
assigning everything
Archer.
to
I want Telltale Scooby Doo.
Yeah. Well, I would absolutely play all of the things we've mentioned.
Yeah,
as
I've
Telltale
pitched Telltale Scooby Doo to
You like
Kevin
Scooby-Doo that
Bruner
much?
so many times. Yes, I love Scooby Doo.
Whoa.
That'd be pretty great.
Yeah, not Scrappy Doo though. That
Yeah, a
dog
lot of
sucks.
people, we like to ignore him.
Yeah, he's a
Dappy
real. No, we don't talk about him. Go to the next one.
All right,
About
Hate
it
that
the other
dog.
day.
The next question is from Chris Langan. Question for the room. Is there a game that you love playing that not many other people played? For example, I'm a huge fan of Battle Stations Midway for 360.
Okay.
Probably. I don't
We
know,
talk
this is hard
about
to
Deadly
think of a
Premonition
game.
all the time. That's like kind of as a cult following.
Yeah, I suppose. Like that game, not a ton of people played. It has 0 out of 10s and it has 10 out of 10s. It's really divided, but yeah, I mean, I guess not that many people played it. I love that game. It's my favorite game.
I feel like mine was Killer Instinct back on. I mean, it was kind of big though, so I don't know, but not
Yeah,
a
but
lot
you're
of
like
people.
a huge Killer Instinct fan, which you don't meet that often.
Yeah, I was. So like when it was announced at E3, I was super stoked, and I just feel like not a lot of people were, as much as I was anyway. And it's just because I have a connection with that game. you know?
Yeah, totally.
So
I feel like I constantly need to spread the good word of Dota too.
No one's ever played that. Yeah.
I think everyone
never heard
needs
of
to
it.
experience it once in a while.
Every day at like 5 or 5:30, I'm getting ready to sort of shut down my computer, and I get a Steam notification that Mitchie D is playing Dota 2.
I'm the
like,
last of the Dotas here.
I know Mitch is going home from Motive. He gets home to his snowy
Plays Dota.
Montreal igloo and he turns on Dota like
How
a
we
weird
all stay
dude.
connected.
Every damn
It's
time.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like also Mia Smata and Gods Will Be Watching, like those are kind of
Yeah.
recent games. But I feel like they're games that do a lot of things wrong, but the stuff that they do right, everyone
so
should see.
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, so being like totally serious about not Dota. There are a lot of GameCube games based on like party games for like Cartoon Network characters and stuff that I
they were fun.
loved.
Yeah.
They were so fun.
Yeah.
There's like a Mickey Mouse game. I forget. It was like a theme park game almost. That was really good.
Yeah. There was a pretty good Mickey Mouse kart racer or Disney kart racer actually. I think it
Yeah.
might have been N64, but you know.
I played a lot of Zoo Tycoon when it came out on Xbox One.
Congrats.
Style Savvy on the 3DS is very good.
Yeah.
Fashion Forward.
Marty, did you give an answer?
No, I only play the most popular of AAA games. I mean, Device 6 is one of my favorite games of the last 5 years, and probably most of our audience doesn't know what that is. So check it out. It's an iOS game, Device 6. It's great.
Cool.
Oh, Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links is a pretty big one. It's on iOS. Also, just a good game that I think
You know, the man has a
Good to
ton of
talk
hair,
about.
just a ton of lightning hair. It's just everywhere.
Pokey and
Just lots of hair.
yeah.
Yeah.
Robbie Smart said, if you had all the money, time, and skill in the world, who would you most want to cosplay as? Mine is Tyrael from Diablo. Always will be. I love that man. I can't make that armor, though. He has kind of transparent, floaty bits. And then I have his sword. I
You
actually own
have
that.
all the money and time in the world. You could make that armor.
Yeah, but right now I can't.
Yeah, this is Robbie's world.
In Robbie's world, I'm Tyrael from Diablo.
like a really good Batman, I guess.
That's so boring.
What? Batman's not boring. His parents died.
I like Batman.
I mean, that's kind of the point, right?
I thought
It's
you
like
were. I thought I spoiled that Batman's parents died
No.
for you.
I thought of a really good game everyone should play.
What?
Fusion Frenzy.
Fusion Frenzy.
Frenzy's awful.
I love it so much.
I had good times playing that game.
Don't forget it.
Yeah.
It's
want-
more of a just don't forget it.
So if you
please.
had limited time and money, would you cosplay as Fusion Frenzy? No. Fusion Frenzy?
How do you do that?
I don't
There's so
know.
many
You have
characters.
infinite time and money. You can figure it out.
All right, you do all of them.
Yeah.
Nice. I like Robbie
Gosh,
Smart's
who would
world.
I want to be?
Sounds great.
That's hard because like there's so many characters I want to cosplay. Like I'm kind of trying to get back into that.
Yeah, me too. It's hard. It takes a lot of time, and like especially if you do it after work, it's not easy.
Yeah, for me, like if I'm in a cosplay, I just have to buy the cosplay. I can't make it because I don't have the material or the space.
I tend to buy and tailor. So
Yeah.
I'll buy something and then I'll add armor parts or I'll like tailor it. So it kind of like is like
So-
half off.
Yeah, I guess the one that I most want to cosplay right now is Kana from Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid. It's a good anime. She's really cute. Little girl.
I've never done an anime one, but there was an idea floated of a bunch of IGN girls doing Sailor Scouts.
Yeah.
That would be really cool. Like we should just organize that at some point in time. It'd be super
should.
fun. And that is it. Oh no, there's one that we can't not answer.
Very important.
Mario Garcia asked, "Where's our Duck Dynasty review?"
That's a good question.
Marty.
So we finished Mass Effect.
We did it.
Finished
We
playing
finished Mass
through
Effect
Mass Effect 1.
Yeah.
The entire Let's Play series
Loved your
is
reaction
up.
to the Saren thing.
Well, I made a joke because they kept talking about his implants, and I made an implants joke. I looked over at Alanah, and I was like, "Did you hear my joke?" And then Saren shot himself in the head, and I was like, "Oh, that was a really bad time to make that joke."
Yeah, so that ended interestingly. Look, I think that series is so dumb. Like, it was weird for you to play through Mass Effect 1,
Sure.
not doing a lot of side stuff and experiencing it for yourself. But we also had a ton of fun. Like a bunch of dumb jokes. There's one episode where we got drunk, so we couldn't remember where we were at the next
Yeah.
episode.
Probably wasn't the best game.
It was a terrible game for us to play.
Yeah.
Which is why the ultimatum was that Marty said he would quit if he didn't finish all 3 Mass Effect
did.
games by the time Andromeda is
This is now. I'm doing this as charity. Make a wish. Foundation.
You quit?
Yeah, I'm doing this as charity.
Shouldn't you have left yesterday?
No, I'm now working as charity. I'm free. It's free. I'm an unpaid intern.
Oh,
Cool.
cool.
Can we have your paycheck?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Is his salary up?
Split it up.
All right, sweet.
You each get $1.
So you obviously failed and did not quit. That's
Wow,
not an insight.
Christ.
Well, you did fail. You haven't finished all 3 Mass Effect games. The game came out yesterday.
Yeah, I did
Really,
it.
it's your fault,
You can do it too.
and in no way mine.
So
I mean, it's partially Destin's fault. It's like 5% Destin's fault, 30% Alana's fault, and then the remainder my fault.
Let's throw some of
don't
that
do
at
that
Caleb.
math.
65. Could you tell that's why I said remainder?
Yeah. And then the rest is mine. So the catch is that because Marty didn't finish Mass Effect, I said he either has to quit
Which I did.
or review Duck Dynasty.
Yes.
It's happening. Marty is going to review Duck Dynasty. We're going to do some Let's Plays.
Yep.
And it's going to be terrible and exciting. You're going to get that Duck Dynasty review.
Yeah, we already told Dan. Dan's very excited for it.
Yep.
I'm reviewing it right after I finish ukulele.
You'll have to do that. Like
yeah,
next,
you've submitted
it'll be like next week.
You submitted a video support request.
It's formal.
I can't wait to
Official.
see it in covers. It's like all
should absolutely put it in covers.
Fran's gonna go on the or parents gonna go on the site and be like, "What the hell is happening
Ray,
to my baby?"
Injustice, Zelda, Duck Dynasty. What?
You know how we all have those like IGN profile photos? Can we get them to take one of you that's just a really terrible, unflattering photo of you with a goofy face, and then just put that as the header?
Sure.
Duck Dynasty over
Yeah,
the top of it.
that's totally fun.
I'm very
we have to
excited.
if we're gonna do Let's Plays, we have to get just like top 9 drunk.
Yeah, but we're not supposed to say that on the podcast in case someone watches. We just get top 9 drunk and then don't tell them that we did that.
Secrets.
Who watches?
Yeah? You're
He's
probably
German.
right.
He's German. Also, I told
Probably-
Dan I'm going to write it at a bar, and I'm not going to use the backspace key. That's just forward momentum. It's just pure forward
He said
momentum.
yes.
Dan said yes.
He
it's
said
fine.
yes. It's actually
Dan, trust me.
happening.
Dan,
So
trust
we will talk about that on the show next week and about how that is progressing, assuming it has.
Yeah.
And
it's gonna go great.
aside from that, absolutely follow our Twitters for updates on Marty's Mass Effect, Duck Dynasty review.
One and the same.
2K17. Destin, what are you working on right now?
Just some clips and kind of going into a lot of time management stuff because a bunch of people work with me, so I'm just kind of making sure that we're buttoned up on some
Big
things.
boss man.
Sort of, yeah. I am doing a crafting video for Mass Effect where I teach you guys how to make some really dope like a sniper rifle that shoots plasma-seeking shots that then detonate once they hit their target. It's really freaking cool.
Excessive.
The most metal
I
thing
built
I've ever heard.
all these weapons that are so stupid overpowered. They're great.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
For me, I just did a video for our Extreme Gaming series. It's supposed to publish next week.
Oh yeah.
Keep an eye on that. Not
Really
going to say
excited.
exactly what it is. I posted some photos that like you'll be able to kind of infer.
Were you underwater?
It's
It
super
looked like you were
exciting.
underwater.
I was not underwater.
Okay, that was my
the
guess.
That was
opposite.
I'd give it
That
a
was my
0.
guess. One of
That's pretty great.
that was really good.
Marty,
I don't think I've done anything. I'm working on a ukulele.
Miranda.
review. I don't know. I don't think I posted anything this
Hey,
week.
do you want some work? Because I can give you some.
I am doing a lot of work. None of it is on the site.
I'm working on the Mass Effect review, and we also have some cool anime features going up. I think 2. to kind of round up the winter anime season. So the best of those and 2 worst. And then also 4 anime you should binge before next season starts because there's some really cool season 2s coming out.
The interview you conducted for
that
Mass
too.
Effect also going live tomorrow, Thursday at 9 a.m. So this might be live after that. Anyway,
Yeah,
watch
we're really bad at figuring out when things
It's
go
about
live.
alien sex.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Enjoy.
And on that note, stay tuned for more. Thank you guys so much for tuning into this episode. What will we talk about next week? Don't know. Could be more alien sex. You'll have to find out.
Definitely be more alien sex.
Bye.
Bye.